Goal-driven performance. This is the second lesson in my series for my students that are either already back in school or will be back in school in the next few weeks or next few days or so. And my focus today is about creating goals, but goals that drive our performance. I'll give you guys a quick story. When I got my first job, at least my first real job that I thought it was a pay per performance. So essentially what it was as I performed, my pay would correlate directly. So what it was a manufacturing job, and I assembled computer monitors. Now, we're not talking about the flat screens that we see today. We're talking about the big monitors, had a tube on it, had to connect the wires, do a little soldering and so forth. And the way that job was structured was the monitors came down the assembly line, I added my components to it, did my wiring and so forth, tested it, and sent it on down the line. And for each monitor, I got paid. So the more monitors that I assembled, the more money I got, the more bread I got. So for me, being young, my focus was what? As many monitors as I get to come down there that I get to finish and pass on, the more money I can get. So let's go get it. But as I've matured, I've sort of recognized and realized that, financially based jobs that are only driven by the more you do, the more money you'll make, really don't motivate me, doesn't drive me. So success started to drive me. And not just success determined by dollars and cents, success in position, status, titles. So as I matured, I wanted to go from just the employee to the supervisor or the manager or the vice president, the director, the executive, and so forth. So that was performance based on goals I had set. Not just a dollar amount that I wanted to obtain, not just making more money, but I was driven by goals. And that's where my focus is today for my students. I want you to focus on being driven by goals. Now, no kid starts the school year saying, I just want to make it to the next year. And if you do, you need to be a little more driven, be a little more aggressive and assertive in your future. So you can't be a sophomore thinking, at the end of the year, all I want to do is be a junior. Just want to move up. Just want to move on. It has to be more to it. You have to be driven by a little more than just a small level goal. So my first point is this. Set goals based on where you want to be. Look at where you are presently and set a goal based on where you want to be at some time frame. Now, we talk about SMART goals, and we're not going to go into depth with that, but as a student, your goal should be set high. Set the bar high, something to reach towards. I want to make the dean's list. I want to make the honor roll. I want to graduate the top of my class. At the end of the year, I want to be here. So look at where you are currently. Look at your ranking in the class. And say, if I want to move up in that top 5 percentile, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to work. So set a goal. And my second point is, after you set that goal, create the plan to achieve that goal, to obtain that goal. Now, I always talk about goals, and of course, the important component of goals are plans. And as I've always said, a goal without a plan is just a dream. So if I say I want to be something, I want to do something or accomplish something, then until I create a plan with the proper steps to accomplish that, then I can say to the end of the day, I want to be this, I want to be that. It's just a dream. There are no action steps. There's no movement towards that. So my young people, as you set your goals for your academics, make sure you create a proper plan to accomplish those goals. So if a goal is to be on a dean's list or make honor roll or be at the top of your class, then you got to recognize that your plan has to consist of the necessary steps to accomplish that, meaning your study habits, your work ethic, how much time you put into studying versus other things. And that plan has to really be concrete so that you can achieve those goals. And that leads to my third and final point. You have to prepare yourself for obstacles and challenges. A lot of times we set goals, we create a plan, and we sort of think that this is the way it's going to go. And of course, that plan is what? It's best case scenario. Now, we never want to go as far as looking worst case scenario, because that means everything is falling apart. But there are going to be some things that come in our way, some obstacles, some challenges. And you have to plan for those. You have to be prepared. You have to prepare that, you know what? There are going to be some great days. There's going to be some good days. There are going to be some average days. But there are also going to be some bad days. And what happens on those bad days is when your mental toughness has to take place. When you have to have a spiritual foundation. When you have to have strength that can say, you know what? I've taken some lumps. I've been knocked down. But I've gotten back up. I've dusted myself off. And now I'm ready to keep on. Now I'm ready to run on and see what's out there for me. I want to see academic success for every young person, every student that I know that I see. And I recognize that part of my mission, part of why God has me here, is to help young people see that you can't just go through the motions. You have to set goals and prepare for success. You have to work towards that success. And one way to accomplish that is to have your performance be driven by goals. Set a goal, create a plan to accomplish that goal. And as you're working that plan, remember that when those obstacles, when those challenges, and even when those setbacks come, you can overcome them. Be strong, be positive, keep working hard, and be great.
Outstanding.